The question, should immigrants be able to use black excellence? Well, we have a situation going on where we've gained momentum in our coming back together as a lineage and as a family, and certain immigrants are starting to claim our titles. There's a guy that comes in here named Rodrigo that just wants to call himself FBA. He's not FBA. He's not us. So what I'm going to ask Wani is, Wani, could you explain the origin of black? When did we start calling ourselves black?
Oh boy.
Here we go.
I was going to start with why they should not be calling themselves Black excellence.
Okay, go for it.
Because well, first of all, the term Black excellence was, of course, coined by us to highlight some different milestones and things that we accomplished. And these other people cannot segue into what we're saying because we're an evolution. So we know when people are lying about their participation in something. So if we have come from being not allowed to read to gaining literacy faster than any other group on earth and being highly educated with access to the HBCUs, that's a evolution of a people. And when we say excellence, it's part of that evolution. Speaking about things that we've gotten to from that evolution. So someone comes over from Ghana and they say, Black excellence, I'm the first person in my grade and it's 2024. That's not part of us. Now, she could say African excellence, but her knowing how to read is not going along with the evolution of what's going on. Just like if someone says Africans created rock and roll and they don't even know what rock and roll means or what it stands for, well, the words rock and roll come from the previous genre, which is the blues, where the women would say, my man rocks me and rolls me all night. So when a white person comes in out of the side pocket and says, I created rock and roll, not only do they not know where the words come from, they don't come from any music genre that they've created, and they haven't created any music genres from anything. There are no white music genres in the United States of America. They haven't created one yet. So these terms, Black excellence, those are evolutions. Black-owned business is us celebrating our businesses. And I don't think we would have minded if they used it, but because of the climate, because of the disrespect, because they don't have anything. No one wants to hear about African-owned business. That would make someone go the other direction. And Caribbean-owned businesses really just falls flat. Now, the other part, first Black film, that's an evolution. We're celebrating our milestones. We came out of slavery. We were stopped from participating in activities. Even after slavery, we were banned from things. So we celebrated these first. We said, this is the first person to be in the Olympics. This is the first person to be in this type of sport. This is the first person to do this job. And that is a result of being banned from being in those things, okay? So nobody else can do that. A Chinese person saying, I'm the first Chinese person to, who's stopping Chinese people from doing things? Nobody. You've been over there for thousands of years. No one's stopping you. No one's putting you in bondage. You don't have the right to talk about being anything. Just do it and go away. You have not been stopped. We're celebrating our milestones. That's something that we're doing. Other people, if they want to celebrate something, fine. You do this, that, and the other thing. But you're not going to infringe on what we're saying and doing, because we have our particular situation here. And a lot of these Caribbeans, they don't feel the same way about slavery because they have absentee ownership. Okay, if you didn't have a white man in your face threatening you and terrorizing you every day of your life, your situation is going to be different. If you just had a job you didn't want to do, these people had the opportunity to go to the Catholic Church and complain about going to their job as a slave. They had someone to talk to. They had abilities to marry people that were not black. Not that that's a prize, but they had other rules over there. And all these clashes, they don't have the same. They came over to the United States talking about bananas. Okay, they were singing about banana boats. Never forget that. Harry Belafonte was singing about banana boats. We were singing about superficial people. They don't have the same experiences. They didn't have cops chasing around the island. They didn't have slave hunters doing these things to them. They didn't have our experience. So they view the white man as money. Oh, the tourists are here. Let's send our 12-year-old daughters over to do tricks with them. That's how they view the white man. We don't view the white man as a source of funds, someone to turn our children over to do tricks to. We don't have the same relationship with white people as they do. They have relationships with Asians, Indians, and all these people. And they said that they are the same group. They said that a Jamaican is a race. So how are you going to get reparations for slavery if you're saying you're the same race as an Arab, as an Indian, as a Chinese person? Make it make sense. They're saying they're not a different race than the Chinese people on that island. Well, live by that. Stop talking like you're us and just talk like your motto of your island.
Great point, Wani. Black excellence is defined by the opposition that we had to face to achieve such excellence. So if you look in the Jumbotron, I put a page out of a rare book I found at my grandmother's house that's from the 60s. And it has Madam C.J. Walker. She was facing oppression in every way, form, and shape. And she still succeeded, So it's just not the same to equate black excellence, their situation with blackness, It's damn near disrespectful, So, but I digress. Moving right along, should immigrants use black? No. Black is a identifier for us, where we called ourselves black in diametric opposition to whiteness, So the thing that's not fair is that our ancestors fought long and hard to build a foundation for us to keep building upon. It's almost as if our ancestors built the foundation of a house, rock solid, sturdy, on good land that's been surveyed, that cost blood. People died for this land. And once that foundation was built up, and then we built walls. In the 60s, we built walls on the house, right? In the 70s, we built a roof to that house. And in the 70s, immigrants came over here from Africa and Jamaica, ran in the house, kicked us out, and painted the house and said, "Hey, I built the house." It don't work like that. Nothing works like that. You know what I'm saying? So should immigrants use black? No, they should use their identifiers. And the thing that really frustrates me is they didn't used to use black. I don't know if any of y'all are from any 80s and 90s babies in here. In the 90s, in the early 2000s, I remember time after time of hanging out and meeting a girl in a bar or something and say, hey, she say, I'm Jamaican. I told y'all a story of when I was in graduate school. I had a older Jamaican lady in my class who treated me kind of like a son. It was kind of hard, and she would walk me through stuff. She actually helped me a lot. But my third year in the cohort, she was getting her second PhD. She knew all the, how things worked. I didn't know anything about grad school. But in our third year, we were taking learning theories where my professor was teaching us, blew our minds, teaching us how standardized testing is racially biased. And I made a comment about racial bias, and I said we as black people, and I was sitting with her, and I offended the hell out of her. She said, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. And she stopped sitting with me and never talked to me again. So it's just real frustrating now that it's convenient that they're using the word black. You know what I'm saying? That's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to go over, with black, what's happening is that a lot of times explorers would call people black if they were outside of Africa or they didn't understand, what they were. Mm-hmm. So they would say Ethiopic type, or they would say black Indians and things like that. They would make this comment. But when the white person decided to call themselves white, then of course the opposite would be black. We were called a number of things, and one of them was colored.
Right.
And that was to describe the fact that we were a mixed race people, just like the colored people over in South Africa. They acknowledged that we were colored and not African, but we embraced the term black somewhat as because remember I was here, somewhat as a kind of like, if you're white, we're black, because we're in diametric opposition to whatever you're about. So we kind of embrace that term, and then we, black is beautiful, black pride, black love, black businesses. We built a lot of social clout on the term black. And I just feel like you were saying before, these immigrants did not use that term. And I think a lot of the reason that they're using it now is based on us. It's based on the fact that we kept telling them, you're black. If the police see you, yada, yada, yada. So they had that narrative. Plus, they actually came here thinking that they were going to make a splash, that we were going to end up, playing their music, or we were going to end up bowing to their culture, and they never could get it off the ground. Nobody's playing mariachi music. No one's doing, Spanish dances. Everything that they were doing over here was not globally embraced. Nobody cared about it, and it got thrown under the bus. So they finally just relented. They culturally relented under the weight of our culture. They could not get around it or over it or anything to do with it. So they just gave up and tried to join into it, and then later tried to claim that they created it. But what I wanted to say was, the first thing is, all of these people running their mouths have multiple ethnic identifiers. So Nigerians would, of course, call themselves Nigerians, Africans, or their tribe, whatever it is. Jamaicans would call themselves Jamaicans, or whatever their island is, Caribbean, or West Indian. See, they have three choices. People in Afro-South Americans, if you want to call them that, they would call themselves, Brazilian. They could say, I'm South American, I'm Afro-Latino. They could say they're Latin American. See how many they have? And they could even say, the Brazilians could say that they won't say they're Spanish, and they won't say they're Portuguese. But people that have a Spanish colonizer can even throw in the word Spanish. So they could use the country name, the continent name, Latin American, Hispanic, Spanish. Look at all the names that they have to use, and they're over here arm wrestling us like the selfish, non-empathetic people they are. They don't have any empathy, and they know what's going on. So they're deliberately being ethnocidal and trying to get into our business all the time. Now, let's get to this thing about them saying the race is black. So we get to say we're black because of the race, because they're not our ethnicity. They're saying that they're our ethnicity. Well, then that means that we're the only people on earth that don't have an ethnicity, because everybody else has one. Haitians have an ethnicity. Jamaicans have an ethnicity, but they're saying that Black Americans, we don't have one. So that makes no sense. We clearly have an ethnicity that is created here in North America. We're descendants of freedmen, foundational Black Americans, and we are Black Americans. The only reason we're having these discussions is because they are ethnocidal maniacs that came here and think they're going to call themselves by another person's ethnicity. Now, what I was going to say is nobody calls Chinese people the yellow race.
Right.
Nobody calls Asians or Native Americans or any of those people the red race, depending on how you want to view them. No one calls East Indians and Arabs the brown race. White is not a race. Black is not a race. So these people talking to us, Africans are the African race, and that's it. They have a term. They have changed the terms. They were Negroid. They were this and that. We're not one race. We're a multiple, so that's why we were calling ourselves Black. Our ethnicity is Black and our race is Black. And we are taking on the status of freedmen and doing a lot of other things to get away from the flat blackness that really wasn't a problem until recently. And so I just wanted to say that the way that it's structured in this country is really beneficial for white people, because if a Polish person moves here, yes, they're going to be considered white, but they have retained their religion, their last name. They're not confused about which group they belong to. They know they're Polish. They know their mother language, if you want to call it that. They're trying to act like Black is supposed to be representative of everybody Black on the earth. Okay, so white is a representative of different European countries: Poland, Ireland, Spain, Portugal, or whatever, whoever wants to be in the mix, that's in Europe. When they come here, they become white, but they still are subgroups under that term. Now, when you look under the subgroup of Black, it's only one group. Black does not stand for everybody on every continent that has brown skin. It's only us. So they're trying to make their grouping of a bunch of European countries the equivalent to us. And it doesn't make any sense. Black American is the equivalent to one European ethnicity, not all of Africa, not all of everything. These people already have names. So it doesn't make any sense for them to try to use our name, because basically we've popularized it, glamorized it. I mean, not just people of African descent have benefited from our work on this color issue. People in India that have dark skin have benefited from us.
Right.
Everybody on the planet with dark skin now can walk around with their chest pumped out. And prior to that, they were put down and told that their brown skin meant that they should clean toilets and sewers. And we've changed a lot for people, and they just don't respect it the way that they should. But we're going to change that.
Well, Wani, I wanted to back up what you just said with some scholarship. Dr. Claude Anderson in Black Labor, White Wealth, page 103, paragraph 2, says, quote, "Today there is little cooperation, political or otherwise, between blacks and minority groups. For the most part, ethnic minorities do not support black causes. they've been getting a free ride at black people's expense on civil rights and minority programs. As members of a loosely formed political coalitions, they are mostly quiet while blacks agitate, but they are quick to stake their claim on affirmative action benefits won by blacks. Don't that sum it up? It's the House. We built the foundation. Let's just say the slave class, the enslaved FBAs built the foundation of the House, cleared the land and put the foundation in the ground, made it rock solid. Then the post-slavery Reconstruction class, the Booker T. Washingtons, built you some rock solid walls, good brick, could withstand a storm, right? And Dr. King built the roof and sealed it, waterproofed it, you know what I'm saying, put air conditioning in it, put locks on the door, made some windows. And the immigrant class came into the country, walked into the house, changed the locks, and painted the house red, black, and green and said, "This is my house." It's not fair. It doesn't work that way. Nobody, no other group works that way. You don't see the Italians with all the Italians built, both illegally and legally. Nobody co-ops Italian to take on their culture.
Right.
Yes. Nobody.
I mean,
Go ahead.
honestly, could you imagine a Polish person coming over here and opening up a pizzeria and talking about Polish people created pizza? That's what happens to us.
Yes.
All the time. You have some random person coming over here from an island with nothing going on, and all of a sudden we created hip hop. No, you came way after that.
I'm curious to see what Elvis got to say about this. I'm coming to you, Dwayne.
I just so much to say. It's unreal. But I feel like I should not say anything. So
you're right. You're absolutely right. You shouldn't.
So
it's going to be dumb like it was a year ago when you talked.
Well, I mean, like...
you lie about building that wall in the country that you don't live in because you ran away from it?
Well,
you're from Zimbabwe, right?
Yeah, with the Great Zimbabwe Wall.
Yeah, that your tribe didn't build it, though, right? And you tried to take credit for it, didn't you?
No, of course we built it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You said your tribe, and I looked up who built it, and it wasn't your tribe.
Uh-oh.
Try again, Big Cheeks. I caught you.
It was definitely us.
No, it wasn't.
You see, exactly the same way.
No, it wasn't.
Exactly the
Why
same
do
way.
you get to take credit for building something when your tribe was weaving baskets? I looked up your tribe. It doesn't even have anything going on. Your baskets are not even stellar.
No, our baskets are pretty fucking solid.
No, they're not. That's why you're over there in a polo shirt in the UK sipping tea.
They are pretty solid.
Look, I don't. You're gonna have to pay me for this roasting because I'm not doing this for free.
So basically, what I'm saying is, you guys need to base. I don't want to be. I don't want to like swear and everything, but basically, you guys need to calm the fuck down. It's calm the fuck down. You're black. You are black, and just accept.
Shut up. We already know we're of African descent, somewhat. Like everybody else on Earth.
So, Elvis, in UK, do you call yourself black?
No, he's British.
British? What a great example. Following our faces around, co-opting our culture.
Why is he saying that we're black when we already said we were black?
Yeah, he's not. Hey, what did Dr. Claude Anderson say? Childlike?
Childlike heathens. Now, Elvis, who in here said we weren't black? Are you hearing things that we're not hearing? I just gave a whole rundown on black. Now, luckily, we have another status called freedman.
Love it.
Just to make sure people like you have nothing whatsoever to do with it.
Right. They can't co-opt freedmen.
No, they can't.
They're going to try, though. Go ahead, Dwayne. Brother Dwayne, can you hear me?
Evening, how you doing?
Yes, sir. What's going on, bro?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, how you doing tonight? How you doing, Wani? How you doing, Chris?
Doing good, bro.
I see Arthur in the building. I see Eddie. I see still Betty on Black. But yeah, let me give you my input. So first thing I'm gonna start. The black on part is the most important part, but what I do want to start at is pretty much why do we call our skin black? Because we weren't allowed to say our true names. Because our tongues was whipped out of our mouth. Because our bones was buried under the cornfields with no headstones. So we made black a code for survival. So a word that's meant for us. Even when we were denied the right to define ourselves. When we said we were black, we create unity, draw the line, and name the unnamables. That we are a people forged on the soil through fire, blood, and brilliance. So when we say our skin is black, we mean that. We mean that's our identity. And I hear a lot of people who aren't us, when they say their skin is black, they literally mean their skin is black, even though it's brown or purple brown or stuff like that. So they don't really get the meaning when we say why our skin is black. We mean, and that's what we mean. We mean our skin is black because we us.
Black students, we need to know our history.
The black history we're being taught in public schools is repetitive.
As a black high school student, I want to learn more about my history in the school books.
We need to update our books.
As black American students, we deserve an accurate depiction of what history truly is.
I want to see myself in these textbooks.
In the public school system, black history is vague.
Why don't the school books ever talk about the Freedmen's Bureau?
I created the workbook for the African American family. This book helps fill in the gaps that the school books don't. Purchase the workbook for the African American family on ourstorypublications.com and use the Cash App, $, Our Story Publications.